Legendary Mr. Skin.
Dude, Mr. Skin.
MrSkin.com.
Skin, everybody.
Coast to coast from Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York, it's the Mr. Skin Podcast with your hosts Mr. Skin, Jimmy Fela, and Andrea Lowell. We want to hear from you. Call the show and leave us a voicemail at 484-SKIN-POD. Find all things Mr. Skin Podcast online at MrSkinPodcast.com.
Here we go. Episode 18 of the one and only Mr. Skin Podcast. A big day today for the gang as we get ready to elect our 45th and final president here in the United States of America. This is it, gang. Let's do it to it. Joining me from Los Angeles, the best of the best, Andrea Lowell. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm better now. Always nice to hear your voice. And, of course, the pride of the fleet, Mr. Skin himself. How you doing, Skin?
Doing great, Jimmy. Hey, Andrea. How are you guys?
We're fantastic.
Is the vibe in Chicago the same as it is in New York? We're like building bunkers over here.
Yeah. Well, I think most people just want this damn thing to end.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than trying to watch like a football game or something, and then you got those political ads in between. But it's ruining your buzz for the game.
I gotta tell you, man. Like my in-laws live in Ohio. It is every commercial.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine swing state? We're not exactly a swing state in Illinois.
Yeah, Chicago,
here.
New York. I mean, even
Nor
you,
is
Andrea,
Andrea.
LA. I mean, our votes don't even matter. It doesn't.
No,
We're getting light.
they don't.
We're getting light. Could you imagine like Ohio, Florida, Pennsylvania, what they're getting on a daily basis?
They're getting
because I feel like I'm getting inundated here in California, and it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, they're getting in politics what the rest of us are getting in DraftKings. And like, do you remember all of those like stupid fantasy football commercials last year that just destroyed football?
Oh yeah.
That's what's
Now they're those dudes are going out of business.
Yeah, they made a whole mess. I don't know what went on there. I can't speak to that one way or the other, Skin, but I'm happy to say of all the places I've lost money gambling, that was not one of them. I've lost in cockfights in Chinatown, casinos.
No, you haven't.
Oh, if you want to talk
what is the
about
most random thing you've bet on?
Most random thing well, actually, to be fair, it was this show making 10 episodes and I lost. Here we are at 18.
What was the damage, Jimmy? How much did you lose?
It was a big number. No, I'm kidding, but I have
motherfucker.
I actually have been to like weird sporting events in Chinatown because they have these after hours casinos where like 2-3 in the morning you really can bet on anything, like fight clubs and stuff like that.
Oh, really? Like cockfights?
Listen, I'm not going to get into specifics because I'm probably indicting myself in a crime right now.
Exactly. So keep it neutral.
Kind of what I don't
keep
need.
It vague.
So let's play, as they say, defense wins championships. But happy election day, everybody. What a treat. Happy.
I don't even know how to respond.
Can I
hey, Jimmy, Andrea, her state, California, is voting for legalizing marijuana, right? Isn't that happening in California?
I thought it already was, or maybe just all my friends.
Wait a second.
I mean, I just assumed it was because it's flowing like a river out here.
You know what it is?
Like a river.
Andrea, legalize California, weed in California. It's like that couple that have lived together for 13 years and now they're just getting married. Like nothing's really changing. Because you're right. Like I was at Sonoma State University, and this is 2 summers ago. And I guess this was back when they had legalized medicinal marijuana. And even then, it was just so omnipotent, like on the campus. Like it's funny, I did a show at Sonoma State, and it was very strict. They were like, oh, no cursing, no, don't make fun of any like protected classes or ethnic groups. But the minute the show was over, the kid was like, do you have any weed? Like offering it to me, not like arresting me, making sure I had weed. So yeah, your state's doing it right out there.
Yeah, I
think it's medicinally it's legal for sure, but I don't think for rec use it's legal.
Now that you differentiated the
Andrea,
two,
check that before you. Yeah,
no, I think you're actually right because I don't think it is legal recreationally. But I really don't follow politics if you can't tell.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of out of the loop. I just know if I want weed, I can get it. That's all I care.
Hey, I live in New York. We had Elliot Spitzer. He was trying to legalize medicinal prostitution.
What's it good for? The soul?
he's trying to help a dude out, man. These are ballot initiatives I can care about and get behind. But it has been without getting political, because we're into TNA on this show because we just
know it.
We just are. You know what I mean? And but it has been a wild dumpster fire on Facebook. And oh
my God,
what is everyone going to do with their lives when it's over?
Or think about this. Can you ever remember like a real commercial on television? It's been so long since you've seen one, right?
I just want to see a 1-800 mattresses leave off the last S for savings. You know what I mean? Right.
We're Democrats and Republicans only here at the Mr. Skin Podcast.
That's right, baby.
And they said that so that Anthony Weiner, I guess, computer scandal, that Hillary's emails, they said, was it today or yesterday? They said no issues for Hillary. So Anthony Weiner's computer is clean.
How about that?
If I can just never hear the name Anthony Weiner again, I will be so happy.
Well, do you guys ever think about if I think about this a lot, because with the technology today with YouTube and your cell phone and being able to stream live stuff, can you imagine what kind of trouble we would have got into as
I think
teenagers?
About that.
I mean, think about
a lot. I am so grateful to the entire universe that there were
because
no
it would
camera
still
phones.
exist, by the way, Andrea. It's not like it goes away.
Oh yeah, let me tell you what my whore little ass did. I had one of those little handheld like Fiji cameras. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I was 18. It was 2001. I made a sex tape with my boyfriend at the time, totally adult, and I took it to school and showed my friends on the handheld camcorder. That was me before. So imagine if I had a cell phone, like an iPhone or something like that today, or even back then, I would have been in so much trouble. I would have been kicked out of school. I would have been kicked out of my house.
Did you show girls friends or guy friends?
All of the above, baby.
Yes. I can hear
why nothing like that ever happened at Oak Park River Forest High School? I can tell you that, Maddie.
We didn't have the fun
I'm
kids.
an exhibitionist.
Yeah, we didn't have that. We didn't have any. Well, we probably did. I just didn't know her.
Well, I saw the video and I'm like, damn, this looks really good. I should show people this.
Yeah, that's so funny. Well, we are live streaming on Facebook right now.
If you care to share it. Yeah, if you care to share it, throw it up there. I'm sure everybody.
Yeah, that tape does not exist.
No, it doesn't. It never left the camcorder, and that camcorder no longer exists.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
pretty crazy, right?
You know that is, but think about that. That's true, because that would never have gone away
ever.
No.
And
And that was just one example. I was taking so many like really slutty selfies with like a regular camera. I mean, I was a bad little girl.
Did you think you did that because you had seen like the Pam Anderson sex tape, or was it because you were wanted to have fun? Like what was your inspiration to make a sex tape? I'm just curious.
I've just always been very sexually advanced, and it just was the next thing on the list to check off. And also I knew I wanted to be in Playboy, so the reason of taking a lot of photos was I wanted to see if the pictures I was taking were comparable to what I was seeing in the magazine before I submitted. So it was, I've just always been really an exhibitionist.
The old saying is, undress for the job you want.
Yes, baby, yes.
I get what you were doing. There was marketing. I respect
just
that.
A little,
Skin, even now with how searchable everything is, like on your computer and stuff like that.
Oh, Lord.
Like, I'm not kidding, Skin. Like, I carry like a vial of cyanide on the off chance that my laptop falls under the wrong control.
Oh, I think about that all the time.
I just chug it immediately.
If you look at my history where I've gone on at Porno Tube, some of the categories I've searched, I think about that a lot.
Yeah. I got to remember, private browser, use a VPN, like a hotspot shield. Like, go for all your bases.
I could always say I'm doing it for business, for research purposes.
One day I walked in on my
rear search purposes.
One day I walked in on my laptop and it was singing that spiritual "Nobody Knows But Jesus."
Oh my Lord!
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Bad things have gone.
Nobody knows it all, Jimmy.
Not proud. So this election day, vote for us for an intervention, is I guess what you should be doing. In the polls right now. What do you think? Here's an interesting one for you. You know how they do say, like, the elections have become like a reality show and, all this stuff, social media. Do you think in 20 years, like, where do you think we'll be? Do you think we'll have a skills competition in 20 years? Do you think we'll do like
I think there's going to have to be a complete like revolution, and this system won't even exist because the way it's going, it's being so polarized.
Yeah.
It's like there's no middle at all. It's so crazy.
I think the biggest problem is how long it is. If they could, if you just said, hey, you could do all the crazy shit you're doing, okay, but let's say that it's six weeks and that's it. It just drags on.
It's overload.
It really does. It's I don't know anyone that's sitting here going, God, I I've really enjoyed every minute of this. Everyone's like, God, I can't wait till this thing's over.
It's like when you have sex for a really long time and it's going on so long, you just want it to end and it doesn't, but you can't stop because you've already committed so much time to it. It's just fucking annoying. You're like, just fucking come on my face already, man. Because that's what this feels like. Oh, wait, I like facials. Never mind.
Wow. You just locked up a lot of swing states right there. Hey.
Swinger states.
Yes.
I left that on the table, Skin. That was a bounce pass from Stockton to Malone. I knew
nice.
who I was messing with. So
I remember those guys.
Nice to talk to everybody. Nice to be back. Nice to have the band back together.
Yes.
I know it's not all it's not all electoral politics. We have serious issues to get to, like TV nudity. Skin,
another great night. Another great night.
Can you tell me this Kaley Cuoco story? Are you capable? Are you willing to do that?
I have is it Kaley Cuoco?
I fuck
no
it up
idea.
all the time.
Is it Coco?
Cuoco?
I thought it was Cuoco. I thought it was Kaley Cuoco.
Let's just call her Kaley.
Yeah,
Kaley. Penny. We'll call her Penny. Well, over the weekend, hold on. What do they say? I don't know. It's what do you say?
What do you say?
Coco?
Cuoco.
Jesus Christ. Whatever happened to changing your name? Yeah. So anyway, I got to say that over the last ever since the Big Bang Theory was on, it's CBS. It's CBS, right? Ever since that show's been on, people have been asking me about Kaley Cuoco forever and wanting to know if she's ever been naked. And it's never happened. She's gorgeous. She really hasn't even been in R-rated movies that I could think of, and she's just never done a nude scene. Well, Thursday night, the night Big Bang airs, there was an episode where Jim Parsons was having a fantasy, and he walks in on Leonard and Penny in a sex dungeon, and Kaley Cuoco had a dominatrix outfit on with the push-up bra. I gotta tell you, I knew she had a nice rack. I had no idea how great it was, and this is a non-nude scene. It's one of those things that I consider. Just one of those things that I want everyone to check out, because though it's not nude, which is my specialty, it's still definitely something that you guys should take a look at. And Andrew, what do you think of that outfit?
Oh, I'm looking at it now. This is a nipped and tucked, super tight corset, and yes, the breasts are just pouring out. I mean, that bustier is working overtime. Super sexy. I love the look. I love just the dominatrix vibe of this. I want to see it in action. And her rack is amazing. It's definitely real, but it's definitely pushed up.
I don't know. She says they're fake.
She does.
Yeah.
Because my boobs look like that when they're in a bustier. That's why I said that.
That's the problem. I mean, she said they're fake, so we probably have to go with it.
Well, then we have to go with her word.
But it's some of these, for me, it's so easy for me to tell when someone has fake breasts when you actually see their breasts. But when, this is about the closest I've seen to her showing her boobs, and to me this looked real when I first looked at it. But I'm just going back on what she's been saying in the press about him.
This is a great example of the reason, I don't wear push-up bras because I think it's false advertising. I think it's deception. A lot of people can make their boobs look like Kaley Cuoco in this Big Bang Theory episode, and it's not even real. So then you take the bra off, you take the corset off, and then it's like womp womp. So I believe in truth in advertising.
That's why you have to have sex before marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, but I will say this: this is the best view of Kaley's cans that I've seen.
Very pretty boobs, pretty.
Check
titties.
it out. It happened Thursday night on the Big Bang Theory. We obviously have it at MrSkin.com, and we'll put it up at our podcast website, which is Maddie D.
MrSkinPodcast.com.
Mr. Skin Podcast.
There it is.
Yeah. So anyway, that was
Maddie D's voice is getting weird with puberty. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah, he's
just going through some changes.
Yeah. Anyway, so there was other stuff to talk about. Now, Sunday night, last night was stellar again. I know last week I thought was the best Sunday night we've had this year. And this week was right up there. And I'll start with Masters of Sex, which is just one of the shows I absolutely love. It's their 4th season, 9th episode, and Lizzie Kaplan was Lizzie Kaplan was topless, but Michael Sheen was having a dream, and you got a great side close up of her breasts, and she has some of the best boobs on television. It was a nice nipped out side shot of her breasts, and then they hook up for some sex in Michael Sheen's fantasy, but a great topless scene from Lizzie Kaplan.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I think under boob and side boob are so underrated. It's like, let's bring that back. I love that fullness underneath and getting that view. It's like, it's like the POV when a girl's riding on top. It's so beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. And it was funny because the first, I'd say 5 or 6 episodes of this season, she didn't do a nude scene. I was starting to get worried. And then now the last couple of episodes, she's done some great nude scenes. So
really
anytime Lizzie Kaplan does a nude scene, that's big news at MrSkin.com.
It's a win for all of us. I think Democrats and Republicans can agree on Lizzie Kaplan's breasts this election.
Yes, there is some common ground. So, also, HBO last night, Westworld, we talked, guys, last week that the orgy scene.
Loved it.
The best sex moment of 2016, without question. It had 50 extras and
all model hot.
Yeah,
all
it was.
Grade
I was going to say there were no 4s in there.
No.
It was all you had to be hot. So that was fantastic with a lot of sexual positions, graphic stuff, and obviously the Westworld producers and the show took a lot of heat. But this week, Tandy Newton, who plays Maeve, that runs the brothel, the black actress who's gorgeous.
She's amazing.
Had another great nude scene. And I got to say, what I love about Westworld is that they do this thing with the hosts where they bring them into the lab. Now, they're supposed to be robots, right? So they're completely naked, sitting on these leather chairs, and these guys are examining them or talking to them or whatever.
Right.
But they're completely naked, sitting on leather chairs for long stretches of the show.
Yeah.
So
what are you trying to say?
Not only Tandy Newton, but Evan Rachel Wood, meaning that it's an excuse for these. If there's something, and I'll go back to Gilbert Gottfried, who had the great expression called Gilbert nudity, where what he loves, and I feel this way too, is when an actress, when it's a stage nude scene with lights and fireworks and all that stuff, that's great. But him and I are at the same school, where I just want to see someone sitting, doing their taxes naked. I just want to see just doing life things. And this is an example. She's just sitting in a chair talking to them.
Yeah.
And I just love it. Or ironing, whatever it is. And Tandy Newton here, who, by the way, has some incredible fig Newtons.
Yes, she does.
If you want a good look at those. Yeah.
Those sucking titties.
I was trying to say, to describe to the audience but I think that's a perfect way. They're not so big that they're not if you're too big, it's too big of a mouthful. Those are perfect for sucking.
They kind of remind me of a gravy boat in a good way. If you can kind of sexualize that and make it hot, it's like a gravy boat you just want to put right in your mouth and slurp down the goodness from. That's what I get from Tandy's titties. Now, has she been nude every single episode? I feel like she has.
Not every single episode, but they did some stuff where they had her they flash back to some nude scenes, but she's the breakout nude star of Westworld. There's no question about it. Now, she had done some nudity in her past. She's 40. I want to say she's 46, maybe.
Wow.
40. You know what it was? I'm sorry. No, I looked it up this week. She just turned 44 Sunday. Yes,
wow.
So she's 44 years old. So
she wears that really
well.
She's incredible.
And she's from the UK, so she's got a British accent in real life, which I think is extra hot.
Very sexy.
I always knew about her because she was in the movie Gridlocked, and it was a Pursuit of Happiness. People know her from that too. But I got to say, ever since she's been in Westworld and doing these nude scenes, and like I said, these are very. They're not where you're under the covers and it's
it's not
this
sexual.
Is very exposed nudity, right?
It's
not
just
sexual.
random, found nudity.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I want to say, by the way, I wanted to circle back to your point of her being extra hot because she has a British accent. I agree, but we can also agree that just because people have a British accent doesn't mean they're extra smart.
Totally.
I've met a lot of British idiots. Like everybody, we always think in this country that they're geniuses. Now, she's intelligent. I've heard her interviewed. She's a very intelligent woman.
Yeah.
But I just want to get it out there because people always hear that British accent and think you're dealing with a genius. No.
Yes.
That's all I want to say. I won't go any
you got to
further.
admit, though, but it is true, though, you automatically, your first reaction when someone has
smart.
a British accent is they're smart. But yeah, that's what's cool about Westworld is all the hot babes are these robots, and they just treat them like mannequins, like they're just naked things, but yet they're real actresses. So it's a real interesting thing. But Westworld has totally lived up to the nudity hype. So,
and the show itself is just so incredible, so unique. There's nothing else like it. It's very refreshing, actually, because it's so just different.
Yep. I am with you.
Very pleased with it so far.
Anyway, so Westworld was great. And then there's more, guys. There was more from this weekend. Shameless.
It's like, how can you have even more?
I know. Well, Shameless last night, and I wanted Andrea to really examine this because I think you're going to love it. So they're in their 7th season, 6th episode. You and I talk about this show a lot, and it's been one of the great shows. If right after Game of Thrones for nudity, as far as I'm concerned, I'd say this has been the second best show over that time.
Yeah, because they're actually having sex all the time. It's not just like a side titty or a nipple or a lip slip even. It's like full out sex.
So last night, we've been talking about this Ruby Modine, who's Matthew Modine's daughter in real life, and she's been a recurring character in season 7. And I mentioned Tandy Newton as the breakout star of Westworld for nude celebrity nudity fans, but you'll remember she's Matthew Modine's daughter. We remember him from Full Metal Jacket and a bunch of other stuff. But it's like, so Full Metal Jack off here, guys, because Ruby Modine has not only been getting naked over the last 3 or 4 episodes, but last night she had a sex scene with Lip, who she's been hooking up with, and he goes down on her. And Andrea, look at this. You can't fake what he's doing there. Her legs are spread. He's muff diving, and she's loving it. The scene's going on. He's got his hands on her breast. He's going down on her. It is freaking hot that you'd only see on a show like Shameless. They're very realistic.
It's like watching a porno. I'm obsessed with this. Now, my only issue is usually when you're getting eaten out, for lack of a nicer way to say that, you kind of flop your legs open because you want them to have all access, or the other, you're gripping their head really hard with the inside of your thighs. So that's the only giveaway that it's not actually going on, but his head is actually down there.
Jimmy, what do you do when someone's eating you out?
Babe.
That's so funny.
Well, wait, we do have audio of this scene.
We gotta hear it.
Especially Andrea, I want you to hear the audio for your commentary. So.
Oh, fucking hell. I didn't know if you'd be good at that.
That was unbelievable.
She's drenched.
Yeah.
That's how he comes sometimes. What? You never heard of female ejaculation?
Oh, no, I have. I just thought it was a myth, like unicorns are moderate Republicans.
He comes up, Jimmy, he comes up from eating her out with a face full of pea juice, and they show it all over his face. It's awesome. It's like extra realism. His face is all wet, and she even says it was hard to hear because she was in the throes of ecstasy, but she was saying that the are the sheets drenched, which was pretty cool.
Listen, I've been around one of those. Have you ever been around one of those? Those girls that are like IEDs? They just explode. Is that you? Yeah, I didn't know, but yeah, Ange, I've been around a few of those where it really is like it's like a roadside bomb.
Dude, it's a lot. When it happens, it happens.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's a roadside bomb. You're just there and there's boom. You're like, oh my god, yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah, I give you props, Jimmy, because only incredible lovers are able to get that happening. So good work, man.
It's a load side bomb. But anyway,
that is so
I mean,
hot.
I'm just
is that the first time that's happened on cable television? A female ejaculation?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I know
recall.
we've had. Yeah, no, it has. I'm just trying to think where I've seen it before.
Well, that'll be your homework.
There is something I'm going to talk about that we've only seen one other time coming up.
Ooh.
But just to finish this, no pun intended. Just to finish this, again, the realism of it.
So hot.
There's some things you could fake, and then there's other things where it's like. Would you think she had to be wearing something down there, right? Because his nose was buried in the vagina.
There's no way as an actress that you'd let someone's face or lips or nose or just mouth be on your cooch, because then it's porn.
Yeah.
So there has to be some sort of we use those big wound bandages.
Oh.
We call them pussy patches. People use those. You can use some sort of a tape, but usually it's just one of those big Band-Aids.
That you would put over a gash?
Yes,
one of those
exactly.
bandages?
Yes.
Sorry, that was terrible.
You just managed you really managed to unsexy this scene, by the way.
I'm sorry. I just had to answer because I've been in these situations before as an actress, and there's never never any skin to skin contact when it's like that. Ever.
Yeah, no, I know that, but it still looks so great.
No, it's so hot. I mean, I'm watching it on loop and I can't stop watching it. I can't peel my eyes away. Great moment on Shameless last night. So that was Ruby Modine and lip. No pun intended. So, anyway, so now I want to get to the big story from last night that I'm probably going to be introducing this to a lot of people because I don't think many people know about this. So let me give you the backstory. There's a show called The Young Pope. It's a TV show currently airing in the UK, and I believe it's also airing in France. And it is actually coming. This exact show, I think in 2017, it's coming to HBO, and it's about Jude Law plays this young pope who's the first American pope, and Diane Keaton's in this, and so it's a pretty prominent cast. And they've been having some nude scenes that I just didn't get to because we had so many other things. But last night, I want to introduce you to the beautiful Reina Therani. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, but she is of East Indian Asian descent. She's 36 years old, had never done a nude scene before. She's been a bit player in a couple of television shows and this and that, but talk about like incredibly exotic looking, picture like more of an Indian Hindu type of look girl, but huge natural boobs, gorgeous, like supermodel level gorgeous. So not only does On the Young Pope over the weekend, which we have at our website, this was the 6th episode of the first season. Not only does she get naked, she has a menage with 2 guys. Go girl. There is bisexual. Now, I'm not selling this as something that guys should be checking out, but there is bisexual action. The 2 guys do stuff. And what? Hey, listen, and where it gets really crazy, the second time only this has ever happened on television, double penetration.
Stop it.
Yes. No. This was groundbreaking.
You know? It's implied?
Well, what do you mean? How do I know? This is what I do for a living. What was the last time? What happened? But let me put it this way. This was the greatest double penetration scene in the history of television. and I'm talking this is Diane Keaton and Jude Law. So this isn't a bullshit, this isn't like a porn reel we're watching here. So, and this is a television show that will be on HBO. I think in January it starts up. So, okay, we're seeing it in advance now.
Wow, I might have to stop watching it because this is doing things.
She's on top of like one of these priest dudes, fucking him from the top, and then a guy comes and fucks her from behind.
Wow,
and this is after the 2 guys are like blowing each other and eating ass. It is crazy stuff. This is what's coming to HBO.
Wow.
In January. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Now,
this is hot.
I did a little research today. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything. The only other time there's a double penetration scene in a real television show was Spartacus on Starz from 2011 with Jessica Grace Smith, where she was being forced to have sex with this black guy, and then the emperor came from behind, and like while she was on top of him, the emperor just entered, and the emperor has no clothes, and it was but it was quick. This is graphic, where you're like you watch them in that position. You guys could see
I can't stop watching it.
Yeah.
This is super hot, dude.
Pretty gangster.
So anyway, this is why you listen to the Mr. Skin podcast. To
wow.
Listen, to find out.
Boobs, though, her boobs are maybe, I don't know, the most perfect tits on earth. They're huge, they're big, they're full, they're round, they're amazing.
Yeah,
they're up there.
I'm obsessed. Yeah. I'm like totally gonna copy.
She has great Vaticans.
Hey.
Yes, I'm gonna research her some more. But yeah, she's so pretty, like you said. She reminds me a little bit of I think her name's Emily Ratajkowski.
Yep. She has a little of that look,
but with more flavor. She's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else she reminds me of, but she is gorgeous. And I didn't really know too much about her. And she's now moving high up my list of the hottest
she's
babes.
On my radar now, baby.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
This is so not the girl you double penetrate, by the way. Like, why would you want to share this?
I know, that's what I'm saying. So,
point.
I know who she reminds me of. You guys know who Rosario Dawson is?
That went through my mind too, but a little bit more feminized looking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a Rosario Dawson meets Emily Ratajkowski.
Yeah.
meets a priest and a bishop.
For some GP action.
And I don't really know. I got to admit, I don't truly know the backstory of why there's two guys and what's going on here, but I don't care. It's still a fantastic.
Listen, I got to
scene,
be honest. When I heard priest and bishop, I was bracing for an altar boy.
Yeah, so well, you'll be buffing the bishop when you see this scene. So anyway, it's called The Young Pope. Stay tuned. It'll be on HBO in January. And could I give a better a better review for people to check this show out when it airs?
I'm blown
coming
away,
in January. Yeah, really good. I mean, I'm talking like I'm watching this thinking, because even in movies, this you don't see this. Not in a mainstream movie. I do remember Nymphomaniac from I think 2011 maybe with Charlotte Gainsbourg. They did it, but that was like truly a what would you call it, where they were putting real sex in a mainstream movie, but this is just kind of simulated, but it's pretty damn good.
Very
so anyway,
sexy, very sensual.
It's like
very
Caligula.
hot.
It's like Caligula.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey, Maddie D said that we have a phone call. We got the skin line that you could call in. I want to just take that before I get into my last thing, where you call 484-SKIN-POD, and he says we have someone. So let's listen to the call, and then I can answer it if I can answer.
Let's do it.
All right.
Hi, Skin. I just wanted to let you know how much I enjoy MrSkin.com. Certainly beats the old days when I used to have to go through the old TV guide and look for the N for nudity.
Aww.
And then possibly have to sit through a movie I really didn't want to sit through. Of course, my personal favorite is Winona Ryder, mostly because she doesn't always give the nudity. And I'm curious what you prefer. The occasional treat, or the actresses who can always be counted on to give great nudity. Thank you once again, and have a great night.
Wow, that's a loaded question. Because
I think I know what he's getting at, but he mentioned Winona Ryder.
Ugh.
Whoa.
And she's definitely she's one of those girls with like a skinny body but big natural boobs, which I was always a fan of.
She likes women in handcuffs, is what he's trying to say. She's always getting caught shoplifting.
I forgot about that. Yeah, she did a movie called Sex and Death 101. Winona Ryder did, and it was happened about an hour and 50 minutes in, and it's a quick scene, but that is the go-to moment in Winona Ryder's career to see her boobs. So check that out for that for the guy that called. But I think what his basic question was: do I like someone that maybe does
who's consistent with their nudity,
or someone that's nude a lot like Angelina Jolie? And the answer, without copping out here, is both. But I will say this: I don't want actresses to only do one nude scene, obviously, but when an actress only does one nude scene, the thrill of it, like Jessica Biel in Powder Blue, to this day, it's still one of my favorite nude scenes because she rarely gets naked. Now, I'll take it one step further, and there's certain actresses at our website, like Mila Kunis, Jennifer Love Hewitt, are great examples of actresses who have never been nude, that I think is part of the reason guys are always searching them, because they've never given it up, and guys are, go crazy about it. And it's one of those things where I don't, I never want an actress to go her whole career without doing a nude scene. But in Jennifer Love Hewitt's case, that has to be part of the reason guys are so crazy about her, because they're dying for her to do her first nude scene.
It's never too late.
Oh, no, that's how I feel. But no, that's a great question. But then again, I also like the Angelina Jolies who've done 14 nude scenes, or Jennifer Jason Leigh, or Susan Sarandon. I do enjoy when an actress has had a Hall of Fame nude career too.
Sarandon has some sneaky good scenes, man.
Yes, she does.
She does. She really. I think
she's nasty. I like it.
You should watch. Have you ever seen Atlantic City, where Burt Lancaster?
With Burt Lancaster. That's a great
with the
one.
lemons.
Yes.
Yeah. Every time I'm cutting a lemon at the Mr. Skin residence, I actually think of the scene in with Burt Lancaster in Atlantic City at the 50-minute mark, where she is in the window and he's spying across, and I can't look at lemons without thinking of her watermelons in that scene.
Yeah. There's a whole generation of people like Skin around my age that she was that something about her girl that we were all nuts about. You know?
Yeah, I just recently saw her in just a sweater on some talk show, and they're fantastic. And her daughter, Eva More, was on Californication showing them off, and talk about a nip off the old block. She was fantastic. So, it obviously runs in the family. And Susan Sarandon, sorry we got off on a tangent, but yeah, I'm a big Susan Sarandon breast fan, no question about it. So
I'm proud.
Anyway, so last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is, we're running that thing. We were joking about whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, but that came from where we were running our Erection 2016 contest at the website. And I know I talked to Andrea about it. I think it was one of the weeks Jimmy couldn't make it, but we went through the whole list, but as of today, we actually have the winners. And I just wanted to tell you, I'm going to run down this with you guys. There's 12 categories. I'm going to see if you could guess who won this. And what we did is we had a lot of fun with it. And by the way, we had like hundreds of thousands of votes, so it's a pretty good. We have a good sample size for who won this. So we came up with these different categories that were a lot of fun, that were real either cabinet positions or political positions. And then we did a play on them, and then took 4 actresses that represented that category. You could go to our website for free and watch their best nude scene and then vote. Real simple as that. And it was a lot of fun. And the winners are out as of today, so hot off the press. So I'm going to give you the picks, and you guys tell me who you think could win. And I even have the percentages of which each actress got, which is pretty cool. Wow. So I'll start with Jimmy, President Erect, which is the most popular nude actress at our website. Someone who's famous, A-lister, that's also done a nude scene. And the candidates the nominudes were Anne Hathaway, Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones, Margot Robbie from Wolf of Wall Street, and Scarlett Johansson. Who would you say, Jimmy?
I'm going Margot Robbie, Wolf of Wall Street, just because of how good that one shot is of her in the doorway.
It was amazing. Andrea?
I love Margot Robbie, but I think ScarJo has like the nation's interest. Like, I think she's always that girl that everyone loves. So my heart says Margot, but I think logically I'm going to go Scarlett.
It ended up being Margot Robbie she got 38%. ScarJo got 23%, Anne Hathaway 22%, and Emilia Clarke 17%. And,
wow.
Yeah, so I think
go Margot.
Plus she probably got the nerd vote too, which is a pretty huge block on the internet because she's in that Suicide Squad.
That's right.
You got to factor that.
She's got the ground game. She's got the good ground game.
She's got the ground game. So we also did Vice President Erect, which is a look at this is kind of like newcomers, people that maybe aren't as well known that are up and comers. So we did Ashley Greene from the Twilight movies. This was our closest race, by the way. Dakota Johnson from the 50 Shades movie, Riley Keough, Elvis's granddaughter from The Girlfriend Experience, and then Shailene Woodley, we might remember her from The Descendants and a bunch of other things. She's up. Now, this was our closest one, so I'm interested to see how you guys do. So Ashley Greene, Dakota Johnson, Riley Keough, and Shailene Woodley. What do you think?
Ooh, I'm gonna go.
I see why it was so close. It's hard to decide.
And I've seen the content. Hold on. I'm jumping in here. Hold on a second. I have a hunch here. Is it Riley Keough? That's what I'm going with. I'm going with Riley Keough, and that might be a dumb guess, but I have a theory.
No, she's Elvis's granddaughter. That's always a good guess.
And I just want it to be Shailene Woodley because I like her as a person, but I have no idea.
The winner, and it was like they each got 32%, but Shailene Woodley had like 32 point something and beat her. But Shailene Woodley won over Ashley Greene.
Oh, yeah, my girl, right?
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, but if you watch the nude scenes, just based on the nude scenes, they were all great. Ashley Greene, by the way, has spectacular breasts. She was, she was great. But yeah, Shailene Woodley, the winner, and
fix. It's rigged. It's a rigged system.
It's rigged. But anyway, no, that's good. But you'll know these other ones. Like we also did First Ladies, which was the best lesbian scene at our website. So we looked at some famous lesbo scenes, and we took Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis in Black Swan, Laura Prepon, Taylor Schilling, Orange is the New Black. Then that French scene, Blue is the Warmest Color, remember? Yeah. And then The Bound with Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly. And believe it or not, the winner of our best lesbian scene won by a ton. Maybe the biggest. Was this the biggest winner, Maddie? This was a huge winner.
They're all hot in their own right, so can you not tease us and just tell us?
I go Black Swan. I say Black Swan, only because
You usually go Black Swan when you vote on things, don't you?
Because it's funny. Because the Bound scene, which was so powerful, so amazing, and such a relevant thing when I was growing up, didn't happen in the internet era where it could spread the way the Black Swan scene did. I think the Black Swan.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think?
I think personally, I like the French scene just because it's so graphic.
Yeah. Yeah. The French scene blew it away. It was from Blue as a Warmer's Coat. Yeah, they got 47%. But I'm going to tell you, it's because when you watch the video of the 4 scenes, I mean, they were like, Lea Seydoux and Adele Exarchopoulos were literally scissoring, going, I mean, it was like porn movie.
It was the real deal.
Yeah.
No, it was full lesbian. They built a deck afterwards.
They were eating ass. They were eating ass.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And speaking of ass, our Secretary of the Posterior, we had Jessica Alba, Jessica Biel, Natalie Emanuel, who is the girl on Game of Thrones. She's the Mother of Dragon's assistant. And then Nicki Minaj, we threw a Mickey for a little more bootylicious booty. So Jessica Alba, Jessica Biel, Natalie Emanuel, and Nicki Minaj. Who do you think had the best butt, Secretary of the Posterior?
I gotta go Biel just because she has the best butt out of all those people.
She did. Biel's a great butt, no question.
Great one. I'll go. Listen, I just don't want to agree with Andrea Lowell, so I'll say Jessica Alba.
Yeah, Alba won 32 to 27%. So,
nice.
and if you see the scene, Into the Blue, she's underwater in a bikini, and the bikini bottom's riding up. It's tough to not vote for that. But then Jessica Biel in her little underpants on the stage, topless, was hard too. So anyway, they're all good.
Did Nicki Minaj? She came in last in this one.
Yeah, she only got 11%.
You know what it is, and it's no knock at all, but she really is like a curiosity piece.
Mm-hmm. Right, she's a novelty.
Yeah, it's a very specific type of booty.
Yeah, it's
where fake.
I don't even know, but
no,
it's like,
no, I don't think so.
Because I have met.
You don't think it's fake?
Well, I want to say this.
You think she has a fake butt?
I know some girls that are in rap videos that are cartoonishly endowed, and they have a butt. Their mom has the same butt. The sister's the same butt, and I don't think they got a Groupon for the butt. I think they do. Some of them have that butt. But I agree. But I think there's something about that butt that, for some people, it's like you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's cool, but it's not attractive.
Andrea talked a little about in past episodes about those butt implants, and I just don't get it.
Is that going on, Andrea? Is that popular?
Oh my God,
dude! Where I live, everyone has them. It's hard to find girls that. But
what is it exactly? What is it? Tell me exactly. Tell me again what it is.
There's several different procedures you can do. You can get a full-on butt implant. You can get a Brazilian S-curve procedure. You can get a fat transfer. You can do several things. They'll liposuction out your entire midsection and inject it into your butt and ass. Basically, just creating a completely different shape of your body.
Wow.
So it's really rampant out here, and so I just always think everyone has one.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Now, I wonder what it does, like, if you're just, how does it affect, like, if you go jogging or, like, you're working out or anything? You know what I'm saying?
It depends on the skill of the surgeon, but from girls I've talked to, it feels like you're sitting on 2 wallets in the back pocket, is what I've heard.
Okay.
Wow. Because I've asked, of course.
Like Jimmy's wallet, so it'd be like really padded.
Yeah, a guy like me, you know what I'm saying? Macking it. I performed for 44 tourists last night in Times Square.
Good stuff.
You know, it's it's funny, but it's because it's the New York City Marathon right now. So there's a lot of people in town. The funny thing about New York City Marathon is they're like, yeah, there were 100,000 people running a marathon. But I don't know how you can tell because half the people in New York are just running for their lives. It's like, who's really racing, but pretty fascinating.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me get to the next.
I just like getting you off message today. I'm having fun.
No, I like it.
Listen, I segue. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anytime. So Secretary of Masturbate, a very important, in our Erection 2016 category. This is just like moments on television or movies where someone was masturbating. And we had Jessica Marais in there, Lily Simmons from Banshee, Lizzie Kaplan from Masters of Sex, Stacey Martin from Nymphomaniac. And this is a little tougher because you guys might not know the actual scenes, but can you take a stab at who won?
Oh, Lizzie Kaplan.
No, yeah. Sorry, Andrew. I didn't mean for you not to be able to vote, but yeah, Lizzie Kaplan actually got 42% from her scene where Michael Sheen was filming her, and it's pretty hot. I personally voted for Stacey Martin from Nymphomaniac because I think she really was masturbating. The Lily Simmons from Banshee is right up there too. I don't know. This was there are no bad picks in any of these, but I would have voted for other ones too. So it was interesting to me. Now, Attorney Genital was another one where this is where you had to show lips in a movie or television show, and you guys would know all these. Elizabeth Berkley from Showgirls, Eva Green from The Dreamers got a lot of votes, did not
love
win.
her, though.
Rosario Dawson from Trance, and Sharon Stone, to me, the most famous nude scene in the history of and this is with Janet Reno. This is dedicated to her, who just the attorney genital who just passed away. So who do you think won this one? Rosario Dawson, Eva Green, Elizabeth Berkley, or Sharon Stone?
I want it to be Elizabeth Berkley just because Showgirls is just amazing,
Yeah.
but Rosario gives you the full enchilada. I mean, I think it's Rosario.
Lips.
But
'cause it's
isn't
both
it?
lips.
I'm guessing Sharon Stone just because of how iconic the image is.
You know, I thought I voted for Sharon Stone just because to me, but you got to watch this Rosario Dawson scene, what Andrew was just talking about, because she walks towards the camera in high definition, fully shaved, and it's just your lips right in your face. It's an unbelievable scene. Plus, you get boobs too, and she's gorgeous. She reminded me of that girl we were talking about from The Young Pope. So anyway,
did she win,
Rosario Dawson got 40%, Eva Green 38%.
Wow.
Oh wow,
Elizabeth
it was
Berkley
close.
12%, which I was surprised about, and Sharon Stone 11%, which I was very surprised
you know
about.
what's very what I found interesting is like the people that frequent the site and the people that listen to the show obviously really are like in it for like the purity and the love of the game. Like really have I've kind of sold them short as I've answered this poll because I'm like, well, that's the popular one, so it has to win. No, these guys are real like experts in training. These
Absolutely.
are like, you've bred like this breed of mini skins that are actually assessing this stuff, like because they think like you. You know, that's just crazy, Skin. You should be running, Skin.
You should. I would vote for you, babe.
Ironically, Rosario Dawson won by a hair. That's ironic. Yeah. So anyway, let me. I don't want to drag this out too long, but Streaker the House. I'm just going to tell you because you might not know these scenes. So we had Betsy Rue from Friday the 13th. Now, Streaker the House is just in the history of movies and television. There's been some great moments, and I'm a big fan of this, where you're running while naked. This is to me, it's kind of a fetish thing where a girl's completely nude and she's running. And we had that scene from The Leftovers at the beginning of the episode a couple seasons ago, where the high school girls, they didn't know why, but they're running through the forest completely nude, which I thought was really hot. And then we had Olivia Wilde in third person, where she was running through it was a movie she did with Liam Neeson where she's running through a hotel because she gets locked out of her room naked and she's running around. Overwhelming Olivia Wilde won this. I think it was more because people know Olivia Wilde, but I do think the other scenes should have got more votes, but she got 60% of the votes. But it's a great scene. Olivia Wilde completely naked running through a hotel. You could see why guys would want to vote for that.
Yeah, that'll work.
Couple others, Muff Master General. This is our biggest muff at the website of a celebrity, someone you would have heard of. We have Gabby Hoffman from Crystal Fairy and Girls. You might know her. Liv Tyler from The Leftovers showed her muff, which was spectacular. Monica Bellucci in many movies where she's been nude. And Sarah Silverman from Take This Waltz were all up for Muff Master General. And Monica Bellucci ended up winning 51% of the votes. So that wasn't a surprise. But the other ones were great, too. And I love the Sarah Silverman nude scene, but that only got 18%.
Yeah.
Gabby Hoffman, a distant fourth at 4%.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, and the one last one I wanted to mention was the Secretary of Double Defense. These are the girls with natural double D's at our website. And if I'm going to tell you the names, I think you guys will figure this out. Alexandra Daddario, the scene from True Detective.
Yes.
Emily Ratajkowski, who's the gorgeous supermodel. I think we showed their Gone Girl scene, but might have shown something else. Jessica Paré, who was Don Draper's wife in Mad Men, and Kelly Brook, who you might know from, she was in a movie called Survival Island, but she's been a pinup girl / cable babe in the 90s, gorgeous. And anyway, so you had Alexandra Daddario, Emily Ratajkowski, Jessica Paré, and Kelly Brook. What do you think?
I do say Emily Ratajkowski.
Okay.
She's special, man. She's got her own thing going on.
I think everyone was blown away with that scene of Alexandra riding Woody Harrelson in True Detective. I got to go with that.
Yeah, it won 55% to Emily's 29%. And I still to this day, when people ask me, when I get asked in interviews, like, are you jaded? Do you care anymore if actresses are naked? Does it mean as much to you? I always tell them, man, it was January of 2015 when this True Detective scene aired. And I remember watching it and being like, I was just excited as when I saw like Phoebe Cates in Fast Times for the first time. It was like, there's certain nude scenes that you're just watching them going, oh my God. that's spectacular. In fact, I remember even Obama at the time was loving True Detective, so he had requested from HBO, where they send him screeners of the thing. And Alexandra Daddario is really a cool thing on Twitter. She posted, "The president has seen my boobs," so she had fun with it.
That's awesome.
It's a perfect thing, and plus they're Double D naturals, and a great scene, and it was with Woody Harrelson, so I totally get it. And to me, the Alexandra Daddario is one of the top 10 nude scenes in the history of anything, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm right there with you, babe.
Yeah. So anyway, our Erection 2016, it's up at the front page of the website, hot off the press. You could see the winners, and you could rewatch all these nude scenes we just talked about. So, hey, another good week in nudity, and by the time we talk again, we'll know who the new president of the United States is.
It's terrifying.
If the world doesn't end, I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Can I just point out that no matter who wins, no one's going to Canada? Can we all stop?
I know.
It happens every year. Everyone's going to Canada.
Right.
I don't even think Canada wants us, by the way. Canada's
They really don't.
Go to Guatemala. We don't want to put up with it.
But no one
Belize
takes
is
that
hot
stuff
right now.
seriously.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So good.
Why don't they say they're going to Mexico?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Mexico should be insulted. They got better tequila.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly would rather go to Mexico. It's a better time.
I agree.
I
agree, especially the winter.
Yeah. I see what you're getting at here. But this was a lot of fun, everybody. Enjoy the week. Happy Election Day.
Happy Election Day.
Bye, guys.
Okay, take care, guys.
See ya.
This concludes another scintillating episode of the Mr. Skin Podcast. Subscribe to the Mr. Skin Podcast in iTunes and never miss a show. Thanks for listening.